Vata. What is the function of Vata for digestive system? Maybe if I can ask one of you without looking at the notes, okay, without looking at the notes, tell me function of Vata in digestive system. So maybe Judith can explain that.
To move the food around.
Okay, good.
To transport.
Good, very good. So move the food around, transport, getting it down. That's one function.
Okay.
Someone else want to add anything? Michelle, would you like to add?
Does it test? It kind of stokes the fire, your Agni, like it enlivens the Agni. It kind of keeps it burning.
That's another aspect, and there is a name for that subdosha. That we are going into subdosha, but there is a name for that subdosha that fans the fire. That means appetite. What is the name of that subdosha? Can someone tell? Because there is fire, but then there is something that will fan the fire. And there is a subdosha, there is a name for that subdosha.
Is it samana?
Samana, exactly. So now here what it is, what is the clinical value of this? So if someone says, I don't have proper digestion, but I have fine appetite. And another person says, no, I can digest it, but I don't have good appetite. So if it is not good appetite, that means samana is disturbed, and we will be giving different formulation of herb on different timing. And this is where the value of understanding the subdoshas is, right? So here, what are the doshas and subdoshas associated with digestive system in this case? So Vata, basically all the movements related to digestive system, starting from chewing of the food, tasting of the food, swallowing of the food, food goes into stomach, mixing of the food in the stomach, then it goes down further, opening of sphincters, pyloric sphincter, then it goes down, and then in the intestine moving, juices coming in, they are transported. All of these functions are related to Vata. And then specific subdoshas, so say here subdosha prana, that helps to taste and coordinating intelligence. So when we are hungry in one part of the brain, it says, okay, now there is a need of food, that goes to appetite center is stimulated. This function is Vata function, and particularly prana. And then samana is the fence the fire, so appetite. And then apana, the moving food downwards through the intestines. So these are the three subdoshas of Vata that contribute towards digestion of Vata. There are other doshas also, they play the role, but here we are talking about Vata. Okay. Now we go into Pitta and subdoshas. So Pitta, basically digestion, Pitta, right? The main function of Pitta is, and can someone tell me about main function of Pitta? So Judith, you can tell. You have to turn, yes, please.
Main function of Pitta in the digestive fire. So metabolizing the food, breaking it down.
Good. Yeah. So that is good. This is the main function. If we have to say one main function, this is the main function. But then in one term, transformation. So even in the digestion, the main function is digestion and metabolism, but in the tissue level, the conversion of nutrients into tissue, that's also conversion of emotions, is transformation of emotions, is also Pitta, which is the function of which subdosha? Sadhak, right? So like that, in this case, Pitta, transformation, conversion, digestion, metabolism, these are the functions. And the main subdoshas are Ranjak. And Ranjak in this case includes not just liver, pancreas, all of that included, but mainly liver. And the second subdosha, Pachak, right? So digestion in stomach and small intestine. So here in this case, say if someone has discoloration, the coloration is the function of Ranjak through liver. So if we, like in the modern medicine also, when sometimes they do liver function test, and the liver function test to indicate how liver is contributing towards digestion, the bile juices, bile pigments, right? So that is to indicate that if it is playing proper role in breakdown of food. When bile comes, then that also triggers the secretion of juices from pancreas. So they are all complementing. The liver juices are triggering pancreatic juices. So they complement each other. Okay. So Ranjak and Pachak. Pachak main juices, the juices of pancreas and juices of small intestine. So each part of small intestine, so duodenum, jejunum, ileum, all three of them contribute towards main digestive enzymes. Okay. So all these disorders like malabsorption syndrome, inflammatory intestinal disease, these are due to imbalance of Ranjak and Pachak. Okay. Now we go into the Kapha. Usually we think the Pitta is the only one that plays the role in digestion, but Kapha also has its own role. Okay. If you might remember from, I think it is module 3, what are the important factors that convert food into nutrients, and one of them is clade, means moistening factor, and that is more Kapha factor, right? So in this case, Kapha, two particular Kapha are responsible for digestion. Most important one, as it is said, that digestion starts in mouth, right? Now I will ask Michelle to explain that how does it help, both Bodhak and Kledak, how do they help in digestion? Michelle, can you please answer this?
I'm thinking that with Kapha dosha, the moisture of our saliva, of just the hydration within our oral cavity would help to start to break down the food, but also to help stimulate what part of our, like the different tastes within our tongue, within our palate, and then that probably triggers within the brain how to digest, what juices need to be secreted, and then it just helps the food be broken down, and it just helps to form the rasa. I'm thinking like
yes.
The other's two words there, rasa ahara, I think,
Yes,
and then it
rasa,
just helps things move along. Thank you. So it helps things move along a little smoother through the digestion if there is moisture, and yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So this is beautiful, actually brilliant. You brought out some very important point here. So there is a term for it. Before food goes into the stomach and the digestive tract, before that, there is a phase of digestion. It's called Cephalic phase, and cephalic stands for brain. So when food, with the help of moisture, which is called Bodhak Kapha, because Bodhak means to know, and what to know? To know the taste, and there are taste buds. So this moisture with the molecules of food mixes, and the taste buds identify the taste and send the message into the brain, and then brain recognizes, okay, bitter taste is coming, sweet taste is coming. So according to the taste, then it triggers that which enzymes are needed. That's what you explained just now so beautifully. And so from that perspective, then specific enzymes in a specific quantity are coming beforehand, before even food comes in there. So this is kind of a preparation. So those people who have the problem with taste, they will not have that particular digestion proper. So this is a very good point that you mentioned. And the second subdosha is Kledak. And that one helps actually because the stomach, most of the people think that digestion starts in the stomach. Stomach, organ-wise, has very little role in breaking down of food, except just carbs. Now, most of it is the hydrochloric acid HCl, but more important one is that it has three different fibers: oblique, longitudinal, and transverse, something similar to blender. And it is very important that when food goes into the stomach, it blends and mixes properly. And this is the reason that Ayurveda highlights that how much to eat. Most of the time people stop when they cannot eat anymore. But then we can think of an analogy like a blender. If it is all the way full with no liquid in it and we turn on, it will only make noise, nothing else. So if we take, what do we do? We just take a little bit out and then put a little bit of water. So this answers two questions: how much to eat and what to drink, and how much to drink and when to drink. So some liquid is necessary for whatever food we eat. If we eat very dry food with no water, no lubrication, that will naturally cause some problem in digestion, right? So that's why little bit now that we have to tell as a healer, we have to tell maybe ginger tea, maybe hot water, maybe even it is juice form, or maybe it is some soup form, or the liquid can also go with the kind of food preparation we are eating, but some liquid is necessary. Okay, so the clay duct that's what clay duct does. Clay duct does the lubrication of food by mixing in the stomach, and the specific time is needed for keeping that in mind, about 45 minutes to an hour. So Ayurveda very clearly says not to eat anything for at least 1 to 2 hours after having a meal. Otherwise, it will get mixed up and can become a cause of indigestion.